to another manga chapter review. I am the Rat, and this is The Rat's Nest. I'm joined as always by Kyle. Say hi, Kyle.
Hello, everyone.
One Piece, One Piece, One Piece, One Piece, One Piece, One Piece. Dude, I freaking love One Piece so much.
One Peak was pretty good this week.
This week. That's so true. I'm a huge One Piece fan, bro.
I said this week and last week.
Okay. So, we're recording this episode after having read 1085, but we're not going to talk about 1085 spoilers. We're just going to discuss 1084. But yeah, One Piece chapter 1084, the attempted murder of a celestial dragon. I should ask Kyle, do you have it open on the Viz app or the TCB scans?
Mine was TCB. You want me to go to the Viz app?
No, I have it open on TCB scans too. Okay, good.
Awesome.
Okay, so this chapter, it was a pretty darn good one, I'd say. Pretty huge too. This was arguably, and by arguably mean objectively, a very important chapter.
Honestly, you could argue it's one of the most important One Piece, maybe not One Piece moments, but like getting like that very last page, which we'll get to, like that could be considered like, oh damn, like it's happening. Things are
certainly going to be iconic going forward, I believe.
Yeah.
There will be a panel that, as a One Piece fan, you will recognize a lot of the time. Or there will be a panel like it. I think that maybe not that panel itself, but the idea that it represents, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, would you like to just get straight into it, Kyle?
Let's get straight into it, yeah.
So, first of all, we're going to touch on the funny color spread, which I really like because it has a lot of women on it.
It's a great, like, just, God, you know, I know people, like, some people complain about Oda's art, which they're weird. Like, this looks very, very nice. And I'm not just saying that for obvious reasons. This looks very, very nice.
Yeah, I mean, you have Ulti on there, bro. Ulti in a swimsuit.
You got all the men here. You got Perona, you got Yamato, you got Nami, you got all the guys here.
All the guys getting together. Funny people on Twitter didn't like this. Well, what can be said, right? What can be said, but I forgot that this was the chapter with the funny color spread. So,
literally has her clothing article says GER on it. It's the greatest color grade spread that he's ever made.
It does, bro. Vivi is literally Giorno. That's so true. Yeah, so inside Pangea Capital at the Holy Land of Mary Joie. Who took out the guards? We get to see Sabo looking around, and then Jewelry Bonnie comes up and says, "You're Sabo, right? I think we're both after the same thing, so let's skip the small talk." And then they kiss. And so then we get to see they're running down the hall, and some guards yell out, "They broke into the guards' quarters and stole the keys to the slave collars." Sabo talks about how he never knew Kuma had a daughter. I've always tried to keep the tabs on the Revolutionary Army activity. That's how I know you're trustworthy. I'll leave it to you guys to get Dad's buddy to safety. That was Bonnie. And we get to see Karasu going through. Sabo's like, "Mission complete. Deliver the keys. Go tell Morley and Kuma, get the others back to HQ as soon as they're free." Sabo's like, "I'll be right behind you after I'm done here." It's, "What's your move, Bonnie?" She says, "I'm off to Egghead to see whether Vegapunk has a way to restore Dad's mind, and if he can't." And then they're right there. Guards find them, and they're kind of just talking about how they can't find them. And then one of the guards says, "It feels like there are fewer guards than ever around here. We're too short-handed to cover a tower this big. Haven't you heard you can blame you-know-what for that? What's that mean?" They're all gone because they saw it. Saw what? The legendary Phantom Room. You idiot, don't talk nonsense like that. That's probably Imu's room. Just objectively.
Because, alright, hear me out. Just fun hypothetical. Imagine you're just like a butler or something clean. You stumble into this room, and you see Imu sitting on the throne, you're like, and then you just get shot immediately by the fire.
You get sent to EBDB.
You get Emu-demued. What can I say?
So true. The emu fruit, bro.
Yeah.
So we get Sabo just pointing Bonnie. Egghead's over there. We're both determined to save the same person. And then Bonnie's like, "Yeah, like after my dad for me." And then we get into the real juicy stuff.
The real meat and potatoes of this chapter. Oh goodness. Oh golly.
Here's Cobra in a meeting room with the Gorosei in front of the empty throne. Right. And they say, "King Cobra, ruler of Alabasta, what have you come to ask?" And Cobra says, "Perhaps I should start from the beginning. As you are aware, the organization known as the World Government was founded 800 years ago when 20 different monarchs came together. Families all promptly moved to Mary Joie to live as one clan, referred to as the Celestial Dragons, the ones responsible for the creation of the world, and as such they have ruled over their creation ever since. Internally, the 20 were considered equal, and to ensure that no individual dictator would rise up from among them, they installed the empty throne. Each of them placed a weapon around the throne to symbolize their vow to never try to sit upon it. At the same time, new royal families were handpicked to rule the nations, that the founders could no longer preside over. Those families are still in power to this day. In order to ensure the smooth transition, all references mentioning the previous dynasty's reign were removed from each of the founders' respective home countries, with the sole exception of Alabasta. The monarch at the time was Queen Lily of House Nefertari. While her name was immortalized as one of the founding 20, she did not stay to become a celestial dragon. Instead, she was to return to Alabasta to continue her reign, which is why the Nefertari family has continued to act as sovereigns. Also means there were only 19 weapons ever placed around the empty throne. And Gorosei say, "Well, as you say, but what exactly is your point?" Cobra goes back. "I scoured all my kingdom's ancient texts, but as far as I can tell, all known accounts chronicling the period after the Void Century have one thing in common. Her name isn't mentioned once. It appears Queen Lily never made it home to Alabasta, and the burden of ruling the country fell to her younger brother. Do you have any record of what became of her?" And so we get to see the elders respond. "To be blunt, 800 years is a very long time ago. It is true that the 20 families Nefertari line did not move here. However, it is believed that the queen returned back to her country after that decision. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid the details about her motives and journeys are lost to the annals of history. We simply do not know." And Cobra pops the question, in that case, what is the meaning of D? Okay. 0 to 100 really quick.
Pops out. And the Gorosei say D, and he goes, "D's nuts."
It's G does, and then emo's all over him, bro.
Emo. Yeah. So that is a very huge question to pop right here.
Yeah. And the Gorosei are like, "Well, why do you ask?" And then he goes, "The truth is, a short letter penned by the queen has been passed down from one generation to the next." That's the end of that little flashback. Then we get a little thing where Charlos has captured Shirahoshi, and he's like being really creepy. Her brothers try to go save her. Charlos is using Kuma to shoot at her brothers. But their brothers are held back by Miosgard, the good celestial dragon who Otohime helped back whenever. And we get Sai and Leo from the Straw Hat Grand Fleet seeing all this happen. And what's his name? Miosgard. Yeah, I just said his name. I completely forgot it. And he tells Shirahoshi's brothers, like, "Hey, like, I know you guys are mad. Just let them handle it. They're pirates. They don't have a country to go back to." And then Sai and Leo absolutely wreck Charlos's shit. They kill him. He's dead.
They hit him with.
He's not dead, but they do hit him with that Gear 5 logic.
They absolutely just. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, looking at his. This should be a corpse, right? It looks like he's almost like smiling with just how much like he's just been like smacked down.
He got hit with that Gear 5 energy, bro.
Holy shit! My God, they obliterated this man. Because remember, what was it? We were talking about this, and I said, like, I don't think anyone, like, literally the week or so before the chapter drop, I said I don't think anyone's gonna top what Luffy did to him. This comes pretty close.
It's just he.
Yeah.
Look how they massacred my boy.
They absolutely body him, and everyone's freaking out because, like, they full frontally assaulted a celestial dragon.
Yeah, and we get Kuma's gonna shoot at him, but then Morley comes up, holds Kuma's crying.
Are you there?
And then we're just kind of like, okay. So he's like, let's go home together.
Dude, did you cut out? I didn't hear you for a second there.
I did.
Okay.
We get Karasu comes up. He's like, Morley, I got the keys from Sabo. Yada yada. They're leaving. And he's like, look how they massacred my boy. That's so true. And then we get the funny page. We see Imu walking up the stairs.
Walks in.
Elders are like, great, Imu. King Cobra is still present. Cobra's like, huh? And Imu utters his first words ever. He goes, Lily. And he sits on the empty throne.
And that's where the chapter ends.
It's kind of insane. We get to see, Imu say a word.
And sit
How'd
down.
that happen?
And sit down on the throne itself.
Emu moved. That's crazy. I wonder if we'll ever get to see Emu talk, bro. So, this was a really good chapter. You know, we can't really go over theories about what we think because we already know 1085.
Yes.
But I really enjoyed this chapter. I think that it's fun to see Cobra and the 5 elders, and obviously Emu sitting on the empty throne. It's a big deal. What do you think?
Seeing that one Social Dragon get his shit knocked in was funny. And, you know, the first half of the chapter with, like, the discussion of, like, explaining some of the history, like, there are only 19 swords, and then it's like, what's your point? And it's like, what about D? And everyone's like, uh-oh, that's not good. Because then
Emu comes in.
You said the one thing that would make Emu, like, walk in and be like, all right, we have to kill him. We just have to. But yeah, no, this is a great chapter. And it does suck that we can't really talk about theories.
But that's fine. You know, just talking about the chapter, going over it. It's, I mean, it's a great chapter getting to see all this. And we're moving forward, you know?
Mm-hmm.
One Piece is moving forward towards the One Piece.
We are so back.
We haven't seen Monkey D. Luffy in months. He's dead. He's dead at this point.
Yeah. Well, we'll see him soon. After this, it's one of those where, like, in large arcs, I mean, you know, I assume Egghead's probably going to become a bit larger. Or, like, at least, like, a third of the way or halfway into arcs, we usually get cuts to what's happening around the world. And I feel like this is one of those where we're going to have a lot of chapters of this. I think this is going to be, like, I think we're going to get back to the Straw Hats soon, because this, like, I don't think any other reveal as of now that they could reasonably put in at this moment would, like, top what we're seeing. You know, I feel like this is, like, one of the, like, the climax of what we're seeing outside of the Straw Hats perspective, and then I feel like we're going to get back to their perspective soon.
Yeah, maybe. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this episode, if you're still, what do I say? Why am I forgetting?
If you're this far,
well, if you're this far in the video, yeah, it's a video or episode. And if you're this far in the episode, then obviously there's something you like. So make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling me not to forget my intros and outros, which I've done twice today. And we will see you all next time with the next video. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.